Hey everybody, it's Ricardo Gorski and Elias Hermann from Offplan.one, and today we wanted to sit down and talk a little bit about the real estate market specifically here in Paphos. And this is the perfect introduction because we actually opened our office here in Paphos. This is our first interview here in this new office, which means if you come to Cyprus, specifically Paphos, then we are more than happy to welcome you here and drink a coffee with you.
Absolutely. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, bro.
Hello, everyone. Cheers to you as well.
Nice. So, I think we should talk about why Paphos in the first place, because Cyprus has a lot of cities as an option, and we get the question very often for people that are interested in Cyprus, hey, what city should I relocate to? What city should I invest in? And so I want to give you the word now. Why Paphos? Why are we here?
Oh, bro. We are here because we love it. I mean, I visited Cyprus the first time. I visited you in Limassol the first time. And I remember specifically the one day we went with a quad side.
Yeah, I remember.
With our ex-girlfriends back then to the Paphos Mountains 2019.
True.
To the Adonis Bath.
I try to find some pictures and edit here now.
Yeah, true. With the quad at a Cafe Nero. I remember this day. So, and then I lost my wallet. And I think that's a perfect example why Paphos, because we had a beautiful day, full of nature. We drove from the seaside up to the mountains, went to a waterfall, the biggest waterfall in Cyprus, and enjoyed the time. Went then back to a restaurant, cafe, drink some coffee. I had good lump, I think, on that day.
Sure.
And lost my wallet. So, and then we drove back to Limassol, and then I realized, okay, my wallet is gone. And back to that time, I had plenty of cash, and that wallet was not that rich. So I needed this wallet with my passport, with my ID, personal ID, to travel back to Germany. And so I took your car back then, drove again to Paphos, and everything was there. The whole wallet with every cent inside. And it was so kind. People were so kind. They helped me. It was given up in the police station, so it was so cool. Then I enjoyed the cash I had in the wallet because I thought it's gone. Because in every other country like Germany, UK, whatever, it will be gone for sure. You will never find it again, maybe somewhere in the garbage. And then I did a jet ski tour in Paphos. It was my first impression.
I was so jealous. You were like in Paphos, had an amazing day. I was in Limassol.
You worked on that day.
Of course.
And that was the perfect example. So it combines everything. Good people, beautiful location in terms of nature.
Yeah.
Combines everything, mountains, sea. It's so nice. Culture-wise, it's perfect. A lot of expats living here, but a lot of traditional Cypriot people as well. This mixture is so good.
With the surrounding little villages and suburbs, this is a really cool feeling. And I like to be in the past right now, because what I also remember next to the story of yours is that back then, no one was really interested or talking about Paphos. I remember in 2019, 2020, everyone was talking about either Limassol or even Larnaca. Paphos was like this underdog, like the village where like the people live that don't have money for Limassol and Larnaca.
People who retire, UK people who retire.
Retirement people and all this. And then something happened during the pandemic, I still remember, where people started to realize the beauty of Paphos. So I still remember in 2020, I was looking at the marketplace and I was looking for houses because I was renting an apartment in Limassol and I wanted a house. And for whatever reason, every single property in Paphos was half the price. Absolutely. Or even less than the property prices in Limassol. And so I said to my ex-girlfriend back then, let's go to Paphos. Like, I don't care, I want to be with you. We just have an amazing house, a pool. I don't need more. It's the pandemic anyway. So back then this was like one of my coolest times ever, renting a sea view house with a pool, a 180 degrees view, covered parking spot. I had my supboard, a bicycle, and my car back then, which was an old Toyota Camry, but I absolutely loved the lifestyle.
Shitty car.
I had no neighbors, and I paid 470 euros. You still remember? 470 euros.
Unbelievable.
And I was like, damn, like it's less than half what I paid in Limassol. I have mountain views here and sunset every evening. It's so amazing.
Yeah, I remember the videos. He made me every time jealous. It was so annoying. I was sitting under gray skies in Germany, working my ass off for taxes for my secret business partner. And you had this,
German government.
Yes, and you had this amazing sea views all the time. But yeah, the exclaimer: the price has changed. So don't expect something under 1,000 euros to rent for something really nice with good sea views or something.
But these low prices in combination with the high demand created this community here, I think, because it literally went exponential from that time. Because if we compare it to today, I'm just looking outside our office, like so many cars driving around. If we go to the harbor or the old town, it's fully packed. Every year it becomes more and more.
Yes.
Like last year, it was not as busy as this year. Even though we have now the Middle East conflict and all that, it's still packed. We have real demand here and people really just love it. It's like a networking effect. And this is why I think people like Paphos so much, just because it offers so many different aspects of a nice lifestyle.
Absolutely, and it changed completely. This image of a retirement city for older people changed completely. I see everywhere young people. When we go for a run, for example, in the morning, it's full. I mean, we're running almost together with 20 other people on the same route. It's and all young people, very sporty people, very handy people all around. They're doing all kind of stuff, and especially all the young people we know, also who are relocating to us. They're in massive numbers. They're coming in massive numbers. They want to lock in. They want to have a beautiful surrounding, beautiful nature. We have close to Akamas. We have the mountains. We have the
Blue Lagoon, waterfalls.
We have this beautiful clear sea water. It's so salty. We don't have jellyfishes inside. For example, I was plenty of times in Spain, and it was always annoying because you want to go into the sea, and
even Dubai.
And Dubai is crazy. And then you see a jellyfish, and immediately you don't want to start just swimming towards the sea. We don't have it in Paphos because the sea is so salty that the coastline is clear. Amazing.
If you Google cleanest seawaters in the world, there are rankings where Cyprus is literally #1 in the world.
Yeah, you should.
In Europe, it's definitely
show it here.
It's right here. And even divers from all over the globe come to Cyprus specifically to dive here, because you can see 20 meters into the ocean.
True.
And for divers, it's very important, basically free divers. And even the world record for free diving was done here in Cyprus.
Really?
Yes, in Limassol, just a few months ago, actually.
A world record in duration or in depth?
Depth.
Cool.
Yeah. I was watching the live stream. And also, if we are talking about sports already, we also need to mention the Paphos FC football club, of course.
True.
Huge marketing vehicle, huge attraction for Paphos, and just making the momentum of this healthy lifestyle even stronger.
True. And
football players, worldwide known football players here.
David Luiz, I met David. He's such an amazing guy. He played at Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain. The top clubs. Now he's here in Cyprus. Even though I wasn't playing FIFA or something, but I did it a few times because my parents didn't allow me to play FIFA that much. So I played in friends' houses, and I always had him in my team. Funny times. But so many famous people, millionaires. The density of millionaires here is so high. You're going around, and they're all chilled. It's not like Dubai, where you feel this tension everywhere. You're going around Dubai Marina, for example, and you feel like a little bit more arrogant people. I don't have anything against them, absolutely not. But it's a different vibe than here. Here, everybody is easy, is chilled, is relaxed, want to communicate. It's cool. It's just
I totally agree with you. You can sit in a cafe and you can literally talk to millionaires, and they don't even want to talk about business, or they don't want something from you, because they are just relaxed, and they come to Cyprus for a different reason than to Dubai. In Dubai, people go there to make money. Yes. Here in Cyprus, people usually come to live their life.
Yes, and to enjoy the life.
Yes, you see it in the faces of the people when you walk around major cities, whether it is London, whether it is Berlin, Frankfurt, or even Dubai. You see in the faces that they are just up to something and not really in the moment. Here in Cyprus, we were in the sea today and there were people just smiling, drinking their coffee, and they were really in the moment, and they appreciated life.
True, and it was excellently. I mean, I went to sea just to jump in, just for a short lunchtime break. You come there with Pambo.
Yes.
Our lovely Cypriot friend. And it's just nice. You meet each other again. Hello. Yeah. It's still so small, but still in a way so relaxed and diversified. It's amazing. So I love it. I really appreciate the life here. So thank you for that, because it's actually your fault.
Of course, that you're here.
Yeah. So
my fault. But yeah, that about the lifestyle. Let's get back to real estate, and I found it very interesting when we were talking about Paphos versus Limassol. Let's maybe stick a little bit with that, because Limassol was always the big player on this island, and Limassol always had the highest transaction volume in relation to general volume and numbers and property sales and total sales of contracts and all that. But as of the last few months, Paphos is actually slowly but surely overtaking Limassol, which, if we remember back then, a few years ago, was totally not even thinkable of. So everyone that was investing into Paphos within the last few years had this huge early adopting benefit of getting real estate at super cheap prices, and just now we are still below the Limassol prices, but we are slowly catching up. So this is actually something very interesting, because the tourism, the real demand, the businesses, the freelancers, families, all those people now wake up, and Paphos is not the underdog anymore, as said earlier, but it is now the place to be.
True, I agree, totally agree. I have a very nice statistic. The annual revenue in average for short-term rentals in Paphos was last year, or year 2024, 17.4K per year, and Limassol was 16.6K per year. So short-term rental works better in total in Paphos, for example. And there are many more statistics which can prove that this gap is not there anymore in the same way. Mm-hmm. So it's very cool, even though we work in both cities. So I do plenty of appointments in Limassol as well, and investment-wise, Limassol is cool. No question at all, because you have substantial demand of people who work there. The commercial sector in Limassol is way higher than in Paphos. You can rent out easily every office in Limassol. There's no office available even. Paphos is different. I mean, the people in Paphos, they're more likely working from home. They're locked in. They're maybe freelancer. They have different type of work than Limassol. Limassol is very substantial, busy, traffic, like a big city. And Paphos is this beautiful small city where you go on the weekends as well. So
a lot of people also combine it, and for me, for example, I spend most of my time here in Paphos, but I like to go to Limassol for business, for meetups. Our entrepreneur meetups, we usually have them in Limassol, just because the Larnaca people and the Ayanapa people can join us easier, and it is just much more central. But it doesn't mean that there's no business here in Paphos. I would argue that the standards and the quality here in Paphos, in terms of cafes, internet speed, community, buildings, improved a lot recently. So there are now a handful of co-working spaces here in Paphos, but when I came to Paphos many years ago, there was just one that wasn't really that qualitative. Nowadays we have amazing co-working spaces. We have our own office. We have so many cafes with high-speed fiber optics internet, so you really see everywhere people working, people doing something, people living their life. And this also leads to the fact that in 2023, right about the time where Paphos started to gain traction, Paphos was actually awarded as the European capital of smart tourism. True. Because back then it was still super cheap, and there is so much culture, history, castles, even villages, wineries, everything where you as a tourist really feel like you can see so many different things in a short stay, basically.
Absolutely. And within 10 minutes. So Paphos is structured so good. We have everywhere two-line streets which combine every area of Paphos, and we have almost no traffic. even during the high season in July, August, where all the tourism is ongoing, we have almost no traffic to compare to other cities. So I need from the office, I need 5 minutes home, I need 5 minutes to Rico, I need 1 minute to beach, 5 minutes to the mountains. Everything is so close. And Paphos is a smart city because we have a lot of good things oncoming, good management, everything online. If we go park our car, we can just write a message and we book our parking slot there, for example.
Pay for parking?
Actually not, but I know I could. But today I got a fine.
Really?
Yes, I don't know what's happening to Cyprus.
German officer.
Yes,
they hired a German officer.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, it's so beautiful. We have everywhere parking spaces. I don't have any problems finding a parking spot. In Limassol, for example, it's so different. Sometimes we're driving around for 5-10 minutes just to find anywhere to park, especially in the Old Town region, close to sea. Whatever.
There was a time where I was angry at the Limassol traffic jam, but we just spent a month, maybe even 2 months in Dubai earlier this year. And when I came back, I was like,
thank God.
Thank God it's just like 10 minutes of traffic. And there is, in Paphos, if anyone says there is traffic in Paphos, bring them here, we will have a debate. There is no traffic jam in Paphos. It doesn't exist if you compare it to Dubai, of course, or even Limassol. Like, as you said, it is so perfectly laid out. It just makes so much sense. And they really did a great job with the infrastructure here. And I'm not just talking about with your car, with your bike, but also with bicycles. We have an amazing way to ride your bicycle here. We have an amazing coastal line where you can literally go for 2 hours walk from here, where we are, all the way to Pea almost.
Yes,
basically.
and you have this whole coastline because
it's not so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It's amazing.
And
it never gets boring.
The first sea line, so the line at sea is not private, like in Italy, whatever. Cyprus owns it. So the Cyprus government owns it and it's publicly for everybody.
Yeah.
And that adds so much value because you can just enjoy and it get developed. So the small parts which are not walkable right now, they get developed. So we will have from Euroskipo, they will extend it as well towards Cabana, towards the airport, up to Coral Bay. So it's so nice. In the middle will be the marina.
Yes.
Good topic.
For sure. And this is exactly what I want to see when I live in a city, because where I'm from in Germany, where we are from, there is nothing being done. There is everything the same as when we were born. And this is so ridiculous if you think about it, because we paid so much taxes in Germany and we pay so little taxes here. However, we see more improvements in the infrastructure, in the public safety, in even in the buses. Even though we don't use the buses, the bus infrastructure is amazing here.
They are driving at night at 3 a.m.
And they improved the main bus station. It's so modern. Like, we have one at the harbor, we have one in Old Town, and there's another one, the Carabella one. So it's like amazing for people that don't want to rent a car. And this is what I want to see, that my tax money is being used to improve the life for everyone in the city or in this country.
Yes, and right now, for example, we have the Konya Road getting developed a little bit better. We have the Missouri Road up to Polis area, etc., which will be then also a 2-line street from 1-line street, and they're doing it without public announcement, whatever. They're just doing it. They're just improving, and a big thank you to the Paphos mayor who installed the things actually.
Sure. So yeah, that about the lifestyle, that about how the Paphos real estate market and life here changed, the public infrastructure. Now, maybe let's talk a little bit about the private sector, meaning residential buildings, developers here in Paphos, because funny enough, most, if not all, big developers from Cyprus are originally from Paphos. Yes. So all the big developers, they have their headquarters here. We are friends with everyone. We basically have experience with all of them, but let me ask you, because you are more in the day-to-day operations, what should someone be looking at if they are between 2-3 developers that they want to decide? What is important to look at? Because it's a very important decision with which developer you want to work with. What do you usually tell tell to clients? How do you usually work with that?
Absolutely. So the basic thing is that we have a triangle. We have the price, obviously, it depends always at the price, the location, and the quality. So, and every property should tick all the boxes or most of the boxes, like 9 of 10 of a purchaser. So it really depends what you're looking for. Is it a villa? Is it an Airbnb short-term rental close to the coastline? Is it an apartment somewhere in the mountains with a beautiful view, or sea view quite close in a lower area? That really depends. But I would say the quality is so important nowadays, because we can see it. We can, even here in the office, I'm doing always, you didn't saw it, because I always do with client a little bit a tour through the office, and I show some scratches, etc., because we're renting it. And it's a perfect example why I would never buy this building, because the quality or the construction company who built it was not that good, and we can say it openly. And most of the places here in Cyprus, they need to be refurbished, they need to be better. So we have a big quality change in the last 5 years in Cyprus, yes, especially in Paphos, and you can really feel it. And still, there are a few companies and a few developers who do a really great job. And I would always recommend, because of exit strategy, because of longevity, to work with somebody who really provides a good quality. I think that is one thing I learned in the last years here in Cyprus, for sure. And you can see it. A few developers, for example, they float an apartment or a villa before they sell it, etc. And you can see it. A few developers, they're floating apartments during the construction stage to see whether there is some water lag or whatever. They're using specific machineries, not just a guy who's doing the plastering without any cares. There are really companies who take care of small details, and are not hiring companies, for example, subcontractors, who just do some mistakes and try to hide it. So there are so many fundamental differences here with the developers. It's really important to take a look at. But as well, I mean, some of the developers here, they are so overpriced, and you cannot tell quality-wise what is good or not through the price, because some of the developers, they're selling for 1 million one-bedroom apartments and have a shitty quality, and there are some 220,000 one-bed apartments with great quality. So it's hard to figure out who's now good, who's bad. So you actually need somebody who tells you a few insights about those, how many workers they have, whether they use subcontractors or not, whatever, whether they have debt in a bank. So there are so many things to look at. Absolutely.
What would you say, to make it a bit practical, is the biggest red flag in a developer?
Actually, if all the people are telling you different things. Mm-hmm. So I recognize it a lot if I speak to a sales guy and they're trying to sell me the property, even though I'm not buying it, but they're trying to sell me that good. And then the next one, or the CEO, which I know also personally, tells me another story. If I see somebody who tells me different truths all the time, that's for me the biggest red flag. Because I cannot trust any one of those.
I know what you mean. For example, you go to a site with someone and they say, unobstructed sea view forever. Then you talk to the sales manager or the CEO. Actually, it can be built something. That's like the typical example. Never a sea view forever. Until it's not anymore.
Yeah, and in the beginning I did those mistakes. I trusted just blindly. If somebody told me, it's Turkish Cypriot land, there will be nothing forever, I thought, oh cool, very nice. I told the client that Turkish Cypriot land will be nothing forever. And then I realized, okay, maybe because you can check it. That's cool. It's very transparent. You can, if you know the places, you can check whether this land is able to build on the residential, it's agriculture, whatever, Turkish Cypriot. You can check those things. So nowadays,
good due diligence.
Yeah, correct. We do the due diligence for our clients 100%. It's so important. And that's the biggest red flag for sure.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the future. And I want to start this topic with something super interesting, and I would actually call it the Black Swan event. And that is, so Cyprus always had a very, very healthy supply and demand ratio. There was always, we are an island, it cannot be built indefinitely on, like in a desert, for example, or like in Vegas, which used to have a very similar bubble phase as Dubai right now. Cyprus, limited. And even more limited with the permits, with the regulations and rules, how much can be built, etc. So very soon, everything will be built. As of today, there is still a lot of land available here and a lot of construction going on, and this will of course go on for a lot of years. Just around our office, we chose this location of our office purposely because it's just perfect to show you what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years around here. Like,
we're on the corner to 3 main areas in Paphos Center, so it's perfect between Universal, Kato and Euroskipo. And it will be all developed, and they have already the plans. But it's also crazy. I mean, if you want to purchase a plot, there is not that many for sale. So a lot of Cypriots, they hold the plot, they're waiting maybe, even though it looks like there's a lot of land. To purchase something and to build on is very limited, so limited.
And this from a macro perspective, as I said earlier, we are currently witnessing probably the biggest wealth exodus in a lot of years. Meaning all the high tax jurisdictions, the UK, Germany, Central Europe in general, are losing a lot of high net worth individuals that are fleeing to low tax jurisdictions, such as Cyprus, Malta, Italy, even with their tax regimes, Switzerland, of course, as well, very popular. Some Asian countries, but also the UAE. And the UAE was actually gaining the most millionaires in 2025, last year, from all the countries. Cyprus was literally a fraction out of that. We are on spot 15 of the influx of high net worth individuals. However, as we know, the Middle East conflict and the Iran war led to the fact that a lot of individuals, families, entrepreneurs, business owners are now also fleeing Dubai, which leads to a lot of those folks now looking for a new opportunity. And what I call Cyprus is the plan C. So C obviously stands for Cyprus, but also it stands for being the third option, because plan A was to stay in the home country, which was never really an option. So plan B was for a lot of individuals over the last 20 years to go to Dubai. But when plan B now is literally destroyed, they are looking for a plan C, and this is where Cyprus comes into play. So what I want to talk about now is the future of Cyprus, and specifically Paphos. What are your thoughts on all that?
Absolutely amazing. So I'm very looking forward to the future of Cyprus. So amazed, not only because this small changes we have in the city, but also the big changes, like the new marina oncoming.
Yes.
They have already 4 big companies who bid for the construction. So it looks like it will really happen. It will really happen, and that will change Paphos forever. I mean, it will be the biggest marina then in Cyprus. So also for
I will show you a master plan here now, one of the proposals of one of the developers.
Yeah. Also the airport, we get an increase of flights of 30% in the Paphos, only the Paphos airport. So the government is putting millions into extensions, which will so good. And I have a statistic about the tourism, which is so important.
Yes.
Cyprus welcomed 4.04 million tourists in 2024, up to 5.1% year on year over 2023, which was the smart tourism capital of Europe. So it's unbelievable. And now I think
over 5 million for sure.
Over 5 million.
And you see on the government website every month we are hitting the previous year over year. So there is a graph, and it just shows that it's all the things we just discussed with online marketing together, as there are so many more famous people coming here and more people find out about Cyprus. It's just this network effect of becoming the next, what do you want to call it, Mallorca, the next Ibiza. I don't even know what to compare it with. Cyprus is its own little thing.
Yeah, true. And it has so much culture. So it's something individual. It's not like the second Mallorca, because Mallorca is the German would say Ballermann, and the English they have Magaluf on Mallorca. So it's party, and in the same time you're taking a roller and going around the coastline. Maybe for some beaches it's overwhelmed, prices are high. But Cyprus has his own individual culture, and also this whole change affects the Cypriot real estate market so massively. I had a very interesting statistic again, that Landbank data for Q1 2025 showed an average new house price in Paphos at 693,000 euros, up from 593,000 euros a year earlier. So within 1 year, from 2024 to 2025, the average price for a sale of a house was 100,000 euros higher. It's amazing. It's so crazy. And the rentals, the rent prices, they're rising. The prices for properties are rising. I remember you showed me some properties. Well, back then in 2022, everything was so cheap, and now we have, because of the substantial demand.
Exactly, that's
so much.
And many other reasons that we will go into in a minute.
Of course.
But this leads to something that I talk about on a weekly basis, and that is, and then people come to me, wow, for 800,000 euros you can literally buy something in London, and I'm like, yeah, okay, then you have something in London, then you don't have something in Cyprus. Like, people compare, okay, the prices, the entry prices in Paphos have increased. No argue about that, but for a reason. Because you live in a low tax jurisdiction with limited supply, with an amazing lifestyle, one of the best climates ever. You
one of the lowest crime rates in whole Europe.
Amazing culture, amazing food, and you get something for less than $1 million, a dream house. Oh, of course, it's not. What do you expect? 200,000 euros for a seafront property? Like, I don't understand why people say it's more expensive. Yes, for a reason, and it will get even more expensive. I would argue we are still in the early adoption phase. A lot of people still don't know about Cyprus. Number one, most people have no property here in Cyprus. Number three, more and more people will come here. Demand will increase, supply is limited. The basic macroeconomic.
Absolutely, and we have so limited space, and that's what I love about Cyprus, because we have on the one side the airport, which is a limitation for the city 100%. Then we have on the other side the akamas, which will stay like this forever, because the Cypriots are very into their
no
nature.
Chance they will do something about the national park.
And they should not. I mean, it's so beautiful there. We do a buggy tour regularly. It's so nice. Everybody enjoys it. And then you have the mountains, which is also a big limitation, because you have the first elevation, the first slope, and after that it's villages and mountains back there. So there is not that much space. It's not like Dubai, where you're just extending towards the desert and you can drive 1 hour to the desert. I drove 1 hour to the desert. It was still construction stages ongoing. I was like, what the hell is going on? So we can't have this. So it's so limited that the prices have to rise. They have to increase 100%.
And this is already happening. We have a lot of people that live here, are buying, they change from renting to buying, but we also have a lot of foreign investors. We have Irish investors that start their real estate portfolio here. We have people that already buy a property here because they plan to relocate here. However, one of the reasons why it is very important for foreigners to actually get a consultation is because there is now officially a limitation to foreign investments, because the Council of Ministers needs to approve every single property that a foreigner buys as a non-EU citizen. But this leads to a big rush of foreigners that are buying now before this is going to happen, or before it actually happened, just as the Schengen, which is going to happen as Cyprus will enter the Schengen zone, which will lead to people that buy a property here in Cyprus for permanent residency reasons, that they are also able to visa-free travel to Schengen countries. So it is very similar to the Greece PR, for example. And this will also lead to much more demand from countries like China and in general Asian countries, Russian-speaking countries that have a very limited passport but want to travel to countries like Switzerland or Spain that are part of the Schengen. They only have to buy a property of 300,000 euros here in Cyprus, and with the PR card that they will then receive, they can travel to these countries, which by itself already is exactly what the people want. And if they then also get a property, so to say, with that appreciates in value, it's a non-brainer. It's a
such a high yield, such ROIs. ROIs are crazy. If you compare the ROIs here in Cyprus to ROIs anywhere else in Europe, you will be fascinated about it. It's such a good investment opportunity. Our clients, they have 12, sometimes 30% ROI on a new built property, which is, I mean, not a low price. It's not like a 100,000 euros investment. It's a 500,000 euro investment, and still they have such a high capital appreciation plus yields. It's amazing. And this shows us actually that the government is changing the rules, is changing the limitations, shows us that there is actual demand as well. And we can feel it. I mean, from 100 leads a week, let's say, we get around 75, 80 people who want to come to Paphos because they heard so many good things about Paphos, family living here, network effect. And that shows us that there is so much demand. Even now in the crisis, we have a lot of people coming over. A lot of people want to buy here. They're expecting maybe a little bit more discount, but unfortunately the prices will rise as well because the developers are still very busy. So I had last week 2 viewings. And the developers are fully packed in their week, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We're rising, and we will have a beautiful time in the next 10 years here.
And now I want to be completely transparent and also show the flip side of all of that. So the challenges of Cyprus and Paphos specifically. And I would argue that one of those challenges is the RAF Akritori military base from the UK, which is based in Pissouri, actually, like half an hour from here, which is basically a British territory that was held by the UK after the independence of Cyprus, because Cyprus used to be a British colony, but then Cyprus gained independence and the Brits remained 2 military bases here in Cyprus. And during the Middle East conflict now, Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, actually allowed the US Army to defend during the conflict via UK bases, meaning indirectly the UK puts Cyprus into danger, and there are rumors that missiles were targeted towards Cyprus. However, there was no official confirmation from that. The missiles were intercepted in the air, and no one really knows if Cyprus was really in target, and the situation de-escalated completely. The EU came to help Cyprus. We have Greece, we have France, we have Germany, we have Italy, and UK military ships surrounding Cyprus. So in any case, we are able to intercept any upcoming missiles and drones that were potentially targeted towards Cyprus. But this is a challenge. Towards the UK base, exactly. We have to distinguish here between the Republic of Cyprus land, where we are right now, and the military bases. So that is a very important distinction. And Cyprus, the Republic of Cyprus, was never a target by any threats whatsoever, and there is no real reason why. Because we do not have anything involved. We are a very peaceful nation, and
absolutely.
And there is literally nothing they would or want to bomb here.
Yeah, there is no reason.
We are not a threat. We are just
1 million population, and the Iranian embassy is still fully of their own people, and nobody thinks about any bad things. So that's.
But important to mention during those times, for sure. And do you have any challenge or risk in relation to Paphos? Could be anything.
We're EU, so we have EU regulatories. So we need to accept as well some rules, like migration, which Cyprus is very cool, I would say. I mean, they're doing a great job. They are trying to reduce illegal immigration as much as possible. But of course, it's the EU. It's not a dictatorship, not Dubai, where they can just say, okay, this will happen like this. So there is some kind of bureaucracy here, which could be a challenge in the future. We will see. True. But it's also a good thing. So there has always 2 sides.
It's true.
Once it gives you safety a lot, or it increases a lot of value, it's regulated. Once it gives a lot of safety, on the other hand, We have, of course, the bureaucracy, and we don't want to happen the same things what happened in the UK or in Germany through the EU here in Cyprus. But I hope so.
One important point I want to mention here is that you basically talk about compliance and use tyranny, so to say, as there are a lot of disadvantages with Brussels and all that. I totally agree. However, I've noticed over the last few years that there is a spectrum of compliance. And there are countries like Central Europe, like Germany, Netherlands, that just blindly follow all regulation and implication of any policy, law and rule, whatever there is. They just blindly implement it and follow whatever the leaders say, the non-elected leaders of the EU. Then on the other end of the spectrum is Cyprus. Like, there are official rules, but the implementation can be defined and implemented in a very unique way. And because Cyprus has this small island effect where everyone is literally brothers and sisters or cousins and uncles, I don't see the Cypriots, or I've never seen the Cypriots want to make the life of their brothers and sisters harder. True. Perfect example, pandemic. In Germany, FFP blah 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 mask over the nose, basically like this. In Cyprus, everyone was wearing it below the nose. And this is just an example of the implementation of regulatory. Another example is also Poland. Poland literally has a wall. They don't need to follow the migration policies of the EU. They said, no, we don't want to. We are paying a fine every day. We don't care. We don't want irregular migration. And also Cyprus decreased their irregular migration by 86%.
It's so cool. It's really cool.
It makes...
Props to the government.
Cyprus doesn't have an identity crisis. In Germany, you don't say Merry Christmas anymore. You say Happy Holidays. Here in Cyprus, yes. Like the airlines, the European airlines, they posted during Christmas Happy Holidays. And even Emirates posted Merry Christmas because they have an identity crisis. They are afraid. They don't know who they are, what gender they are, what species they are. They are afraid. It's softies only there. Here in Cyprus, we are a Christian Orthodox country. We have churches here, and we know what we are. We have family tradition. We have values here. We value different things. And we have no rainbow flags here. Have you ever seen a rainbow flag here? No. Cyprus knows who they are.
True.
And this is what I love. Like, it's not for everyone, but it is for people like us.
Absolutely. It seems maybe a little bit conservative, but I have to totally agree with you. I mean, to compare it to Germany, it feels like everybody's against each other. And they're fighting through bureaucracy each other. For example, I moved out back then in Germany, in Bonn, and I moved on into an apartment, and I had a neighbor above me and under me. And I needed to fix something on a Sunday. And in Germany, it's prohibited to work on a Sunday or to renovate something, whatever. So because I know those rules, I went to my neighbors and I asked them for permission. Because I said I will go for a business trip for 1.5 weeks and I need to fix some stuff. Otherwise, I get overwhelmed the next days that I didn't fix my stuff at home. So I asked them, is it okay that I will do for 1 hour, just a few renovation, etc. And both said yes, no problem. So I started. After 45 minutes of working renovation, police knocked on my door and gave me a fine because my neighbors, they sued me. So and that is the typical example. And here in Cyprus, I moved out as well 2 weeks ago. You helped me. We did it as well on a Sunday, and the people are asking whether they can help. So it's such a different story, and that's what I really appreciate. Although this belief, as you said, you can see if people cross the church, they do the Christ. So it has values. It has something meaningful. It's deep. It's not like we call it in Germany oberflächlich. We have to translate it.
Shallow, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, so we talked a lot. Let us know for sure in the comments how you like those kinds of videos. We will be happy to do more videos like that.
Yeah, I like it even more because it doesn't feel like somebody's filming me.
Yeah.
It's because Rico is very good in everything, and sometimes he's telling me, okay, come over, we drink a coffee, we'll do some. We have to discuss some business. I'm coming there, happy about my coffee. There's no coffee, but him with a camera filming
for lights.
Yes, and my intrinsic motivation is to punch him. He loves it. For me, this is way more natural.
Yeah, and to close the circle, let's talk about the vision and future of Plan 1. So maybe you can say what we are up to right now. If someone is interested in investing in Cyprus, in real estate in Paphos, in visiting our office, in having a coffee with us, where can they reach us, and what is the next steps for us and the next steps for the person that might be interested in speaking to us?
Yes, absolutely. So what I would definitely say, we're the most professional company who is helping people to find either their homes or their investments. After the experience of the last 18 months, it's amazing what we can achieve. Our clients are so happy, and we can guide you actually to the whole process. Whether it's your own home and you want to save, for example, for the next 2 months the VAT, which is also a very big topic. A lot of rules are changing. We can help with that. We know all the secret projects, all the good projects. We know we're friends with everyone, and that's our job, to have those relationships. And because we have such a good number of people, international clients, which are very kind, professional, want to buy something, don't think too long. It's not like,
yeah, that's true.
It's
amazing clients. Yeah,
we love you guys. It's amazing. It makes me always happy to work with you.
It's because we are ourselves. That's why we attract the people that we want to work with and that feel basically also abgeholt.
Yes.
It's a German word. The Germans know what I mean.
So the developer, they appreciate our work, how we work together, and they give our clients the best discounts always. We have always exclusivity and access to the secret projects, only for locals, whatever. So it's very cool. So we can help. Especially in the next 12 months will be a very interesting time, because we have a lot of interesting projects ongoing. We will in the future maybe develop ourselves. We're looking for plots, etc. But we will only do it when we're 100% sure that we can keep our standards, and our standards are quite high. My origin is Russian, and we have a very high quality construction here in Poland as well, and in Germany also. So we have a very high standard. Yeah.
Combination.
And we don't want to do something 99%. We only do things 100%. That's our attitude. We follow a straight line. We don't do excuses for anybody. If there's a problem, we solve it. And until that time.
We work Sundays, we work in the night. Absolutely. Whenever our clients need us, we are there.
Yeah, and we mean it like this. I mean, recently one client took a very cheap offer from a Larnaca law office for relocation, then came back to me and said, oh my God, can we please work with you? They're not replying since 2 weeks. Oh, what the hell? Then call them.
You get what you paid for.
Yeah, you get what you pay for always. And we're not expensive or something.
No.
I mean, absolutely not.
Okay, I noticed that I skipped over a lot of points, but those are topics that need their own video. Otherwise, this video will be way too long. It's probably very long already. Yeah. So this gives us opportunity to make new videos. And again, thank you, Elias.
Absolutely. We should discuss short-term Cyprus in total, because we have so many schemes what we could use in the real estate game. Getting back the VAT, there are different rules. A lot of people don't know those things. Few projects, maybe we can present some projects in the next.
Yeah, we will do a lot.
Whatever.
This was the video about Paphos, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and if you subscribe, we will see you in the next one.
It feels like we're
in
a marriage since 10 years, man.